Well, good Saturday evening, Southeast Texas. Cold night, right at freezing, just below in the lakes area. We're still above freezing here in the Triangle on our Roofing 911 Skycam network in Port Arthur, sponsored by Market Basket. Temperatures in the mid to upper 30s down toward Port Arthur. We had high temperatures this afternoon, reaching the mid 40s with lots of sunshine. It was windy and cold. We'll have less wind tonight, and even better news, less wind tomorrow. So we should reach the low to mid 50s for highs coming up tomorrow on our Roofing 911 Skycam network over in Orange, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. Just above freezing still, 34, 35. So we'll be falling below freezing in the Triangle within the next 30 minutes or so. So we're looking at about 12 to 13 hours below freezing tonight, bottoming out in the low to mid 20s coming up by tomorrow morning. Of course, we started out this morning above freezing in the upper 30s as the front was just working through the area late last night into early this morning. But things really got chilly today with that north wind blowing, that's for sure. Our other camera here in Beaumont, our Roofing 911 Skycam network outside our 12 studios, sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. A clear night, may have a few mid-level clouds come across later. We'll take a look at satellite on that in just a moment. But here in Beaumont, we should drop down to about 23, 24 in the morning. Of course, we have that hard freeze and weather impact alert. But good news is after tomorrow morning, we begin to thaw out and things get back to normal. So that's certainly good news. That will start tomorrow. No weather hazards at all in the forecast beginning tomorrow morning after about 9:30. So that's some good news there. So temperatures up in the lakes area, go to our Roofing 911 Skycam network up in Jasper, sponsored by Provalis. You're just at freezing, 31, 32 degrees. So you're looking at about 12 to 13 hours below freezing in the lakes and the Triangle coming up for tonight and tomorrow morning. Looks like after about 9:30 in the morning, maybe as late as 10, we will be above freezing and things will be finally, as we said, back to normal. Lakes area today, you were in the low 40s for highs, but there was still some mid 40s I noticed, even for highs, even up in the lakes area, even with that wind and full sun. We'll have quite a bit of sun again tomorrow, a lot less wind. That should allow us to finally start thawing out tomorrow. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network farther south, down in Port Arthur, sponsored by Market Basket. You're running in the upper 30s still. So you'll be in the freeze in the Port Arthur area too, but just not quite as long as areas to the north. And temperatures dropping on down probably to around 25 or so down toward Port Arthur coming up later on tonight. Your weather headlines, hard freeze tonight. It's like a warmer day coming up tomorrow. Once again, we were in the 40s today. We'll be in the 50s coming up tomorrow. And yes, we talked about that chance of rain throughout the last several days. Still a pretty good chance coming in Tuesday late into Tuesday night. Now the cold front moves in, but this will not be an Arctic front, so that's some good news there. Be more of a Pacific type cold front coming in on Tuesday night into Wednesday. So we can deal with that. We just tired of the Arctic air. We've got to get it out of here, and hopefully we won't see any more for a while. It looks like, and we'll talk about this in just a moment, we'll get a break from these Arctic fronts for a couple of weeks coming up starting pretty much tomorrow. So that's some good news there. All right, temperatures 30 in Jasper. Now these are a little bit cold. These are the airport temperatures. These are running a couple of degrees too cold, but right at freezing in the lakes. 32 in Beaumont and Orange, more like 33, 34 still, and 34 down in Port Arthur, just above freezing. Now let's take a look across the rest of the state. It's below freezing in Lufkin at 31, 29 Tyler, 28 Dallas, 24 Wichita Falls, 30s and 40s across southwest Texas. And we're running 10 degrees colder right now than we were at this exact same time last night. All right, clear skies across the area. You can see the lakes showing up real well there, the little black spots. Watching a little patch of mid-level clouds. These will be moving into the lakes within the next 2 hours and right down through the Triangle after midnight. But they're not real thick. I don't think they'll mess with temperatures too much. It could cause the temperatures to level out for an hour or two instead of keep falling. So that's a little bit of good news there. It's that patch of mid-level clouds right there. Even a few snowflakes there, not reaching the ground though, east of Oklahoma City. We'll stick with the upper teens to near 20 for lows in the lakes tonight. 23 or so along Interstate 10, maybe 24. We'll see what that little patch of clouds does later tonight, but it'll move on out by daybreak anyway. We do expect a lot of sun tomorrow. All right, in the upper atmosphere, we continue with that northwesterly flow, allowing that very cold air to come down from the Arctic down through Canada right into Texas. And here's the next system here. It's a Pacific system though. See it diving in. That'll give us our chance of rain coming up late Tuesday night. Once that passes, we'll have a Pacific cold front work through. And notice what happens toward the end of the week and next weekend. We get more in a southwesterly flow, much warmer weather by the end of next week. We're talking highs in the upper 60s, close to 70 coming up by next Friday and Saturday. Let's take a look at Futurecast, and you can see the extended Futurecast putting the rain on us a little bit there. Coming up Tuesday night, no severe weather is expected, probably not even a thunderstorm, mainly just some rain. This is at 9:15 Tuesday night. See the rain's moving through. They'll move out quickly. Wednesday looks dry. There's that Pacific cold front. You can see the winds back out of the north. Rainfall on the prediction with this system, about a ½ inch, maybe an inch, especially from Interstate 10 southward of the coast. There'll be a lot less totals coming up across portions of the lakes area. All right, Futurecast short term. See, it's picking up on some of those mid-level clouds coming in from the north, working on down through the triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4 a.m. So that may level the temperatures out for maybe 2 hours, but it moves out before day breaks. I still think we'll get down to anywhere from 23 to 25 or so along Interstate 10. Lots of sun tomorrow. We should get into the 50s coming up tomorrow. There we go, low 50s. That's nice. That's warmer than today and a lot less wind, and we'll have a light south to southwest wind. All right, marine forecast, south to southwest winds up to about 10 knots, water temperature at 56. Clear skies overnight, some brief clouds though later tonight. We showed that on satellite. Lows near 20 in the lakes, still possibly some upper teens, especially up toward Burkeville, way up in northern Newton County, 18 in Newton, 20 from Warren to Kirbyville, 22, 23 along Interstate 10 with calm winds. But after about 9 o'clock in the morning, we get above freezing, and that's it. Things back to normal. That's good news. Sunny skies, cool tomorrow. Around 50, 51 in the lakes. We'll have a lot less wind coming up for tomorrow too. And notice in the triangle, about 51, 52 along Interstate 10 with lots of sunshine. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. Of course, cold tonight, cool tomorrow, but better than today, up to 52. Maybe a few little clouds early. Becoming partly cloudy Monday, low to mid 30s Monday morning, should stay just above freezing, so that's good. 66 on Monday, up to 68 on Tuesday. Now that's going to really seem warm compared to the temperatures we've had over the past few days, and there's that pretty good chance of rain at 70% coming up Tuesday night. It should end before daybreak on Wednesday, the way it looks right now. Wednesday and Thursday, a little bit cooler again, but not bad. We can take these Pacific fronts. 48 Wednesday morning, high of 60, 36, 61 on Thursday. And then look at the end of the week, close to 70 for highs. That'll be nice. Chilly starts, but look at those afternoon high temperatures, 69.